Welcome to the podcast from your RiskFootprint resilience team. We're your pathway to smarter hazard and climate preparedness, offering clear insights, actionable solutions, and expert support to help you safeguard your properties and build true resilience.
Buying a home, it's probably the biggest, most exciting investment you're ever going to make. But what if there's a huge, hidden risk that the standard process just completely misses? Okay, let's get into it.
Think about it. You would never, ever skip the home inspection or the appraisal, right? Of course not. But here's the thing. Most home buyers are skipping one of the most critical reports they'll ever need, and they don't even know it. So here's where it gets really interesting. Your standard due diligence, the inspection, the appraisal, the title search, that's all absolutely essential for understanding a home's condition right now. But what about its future? See, that's the missing piece. A real, deep dive assessment of future hazards and climate risk.
And that brings us to this huge blind spot in the whole process. The popular online tools and all those free data sources that pretty much everyone relies on, well, they just don't have the full story. Not even close.
You've seen them, right? Those little hazard scores on Zillow or Redfin. And yeah, they seem kind of helpful, but honestly, they are dangerously incomplete. They barely scratch the surface of what you actually need to know to protect what is, again, your biggest investment.
Now, check out this comparison. Just look at the gaps here. See, common sources lean on FEMA maps, which, you might be surprised to hear, are often really out of date. And this is critical, they don't even map flooding from heavy rainfall. RiskFootprint, on the other hand, gives you that data, plus future projections and actual real-dollar financial loss estimates. It's a whole different ballgame.
So, okay, who cares about some missing data, right? Why does it matter so much? Because this isn't just some abstract idea. We're talking about real, tangible, and honestly potentially devastating consequences for your family's financial future.
To really get this, we've got to talk about a concept called expected annual loss, or EAL for short. It's a super powerful metric that basically calculates the average financial damage your specific property could face from 18 different natural hazards every single year.
All right, let's make this real. Imagine you're looking at a $2 million home. It is your absolute dream house. Now let's say a report shows that for just one hazard, like hurricane wind, this house has an EAL that works out to about $8,000. That's a potential loss of $8,000 per year.
And this is where it really hits you. Over a typical 10-year period of just living in that home, that single hazard could add up to an $80,000 loss. I mean, that's a staggering figure that a standard inspection would never, ever tell you about.
But, and this is the amazing part, what if an expert told you that a $10,000 investment in making the home more resilient, say improving how the roof is tied to the walls, could wipe out that risk? All of a sudden, you're looking at a potential 8-to-1 return on your investment. You're not just spending money, you're literally saving it.
And that's exactly why the Risk Footprint Report was created. It's designed to be the definitive solution to these blind spots, giving you the most comprehensive assessment you can get your hands on.
First off, let's just talk about the sheer scope. The report doesn't just glance at a few problems. No, it assesses 34 distinct hazards in detail. It gives you the complete picture of your property's unique risk profile.
And when it comes to flooding, the intelligence here is just unmatched. This is the only assessment in the U.S. that uses the Fathom/Swiss Re flood maps, which are basically the gold standard. And that means it can spot risks from heavy rainfall that those old FEMA maps completely miss. And get this, it's not just about today. It's the only assessment that actually looks into the future, showing you how things like rising sea levels and king tides could affect a coastal property, not just now, but in 2040 and even all the way out to 2060.
Plus, the insights are customized right down to the building itself. A special AI actually estimates the first floor height to get a better idea of flood vulnerability. And it calculates those super specific expected annual loss rates we were just talking about.
But look, a report full of scary data is one thing, right? But what do you do with it? The real value comes from turning that knowledge into direct protective action.
And this, right here, is what makes them totally different. RiskFootprint is the only company in the U.S. that doesn't just sell you the report and say, good luck. They also offer expert human advice through their Be Resilient advisory services.
So the whole journey is actually super simple. Step 1, you get the report so you can actually understand the risks. Step 2, you connect with an expert who advises you on the best and most effective solutions. And then, step 3, you implement those solutions to make your home safer and way more resilient.
And we're not talking about vague ideas here. These are real, concrete things you can do. Stuff like elevating your HVAC system so it doesn't get flooded, reinforcing your roof, or even just clearing vegetation to create a defensible space against wildfires.
So what does this all mean for you? It means you now have a clear path, a path to making a truly informed and way more confident decision about your home.
I think the company's president, Albert Slapp, really puts it perfectly. He says, a home inspection tells you what's wrong today, a risk footprint report tells you what could go wrong tomorrow. It's all about equipping you for the future.
For $200, you're not just buying a piece of paper, you're buying knowledge. You're buying leverage for negotiations, and most importantly, you're buying peace of mind for one of the biggest investments of your entire life.
So before you sign that final document, just ask yourself, do I really have the full picture? Because a dream home shouldn't turn into a nightmare when the next storm rolls through. Knowledge is power, and when it comes to your home, resilience is absolutely priceless.
Thank you for joining us on this podcast. To learn more, visit riskfootprint.com.